Hello everybody and welcome back to RogueTech, where we're going to need to do some extensive repairs on the Awesome. Let's actually take a look at just how bad it is, shall we? We already canceled the repair on it, and I mean, yeah, it was pretty rough. That archer did a number on it, and then after that it was just donezo. I'm reasonably okay with this. I mean, there's the heatsink +2, but I think we can replace most of the things here. So let's go ahead and hit that button. Excellent. We're going to max out this armor immediately. And what all did we lose? We lost a bolt-on eye rocket 20. That was up in the specialist slots. Now, instead of replacing that, I would kind of like to put in... We have a heat exchanger or a heat bank, don't we? We do. So 10% resistance to heat damage and -4 heat per turn. Versus -15% weapon heat, and that's what we're going for there. So we are actually full-on perfect for our heat efficiency right now, until we replace the heavy PPC, of course, and we're going to go ahead and do that. So the heavy PPC goes right on in there, no problem whatsoever. Now, we lost a double heatsink kit. I believe we have double heatsink kits and double heatsinks. Yeah, so this is fine. We'll put in our double heatsink kit, and we'll put a double heatsink in over here, which we lost. We lost a third double heatsink as well, so we could put that in. We also lost the engine heatsink +2. We've got a +1 and a +6. Okay, and this was an engine core 320 previously. So let's put that in for now and see what we're looking at for weight here. A 320, we actually don't have. We could put in a 285, it would be a little slower, and would only allow a +1 heatsink cap. But I feel like that's okay. I mean, we're already doing well on our heat efficiency with the exchanger in there. So we put in our engine heatsink +1. And we're doing perfectly right now. We've got the rocket 20 over here. We could theoretically upgrade that to something else. Let's see. We've got a decent amount of heat available, or rather of weight available. And why is that? Well, we've got 1 ton less for our heatsink, and we've got a decent amount less for our engine core. So that's okay. We could theoretically upgrade our rocket 20 to something that isn't one-shot. Instead, we could do, like, SRMs or LRMs. This is kind of a medium-range mech as is, which is why I'm okay with backing off that engine size. We could put on, like, a Clan LRM 20. I feel like that's a non-terrible idea. And then we would need ammo for that, of course. And we would put in, I would think, like 2 tons. Now, we're not going to have Arrow 4s here. I would love to have Listen Kill, but we don't have any of those. So maybe just a standard LRM ammo, and that is 120 shots. So that's going to be 6 turns of ammo. So honestly, 2 tons of this should be more than sufficient. And we could just run the safed LRM ammo. That'll be fine. So 2 tons of that, something like this. And then we have 3 tons to work with. We've got the 3 laser hardpoints here. And so I would like to do something along the lines. Yeah, a little bit over 3 tons here. I'd like to do something I would love, to be clear, I would love to put, like, improved heavy lasers in here. I feel like we probably can't get away with this, heat-wise. That's pretty rough, heat-wise. It would be amazing, though. That's a lot of heat. If we had an engine heatsink +2, then maybe. Maybe we could get away with 1 improved heavy laser. And then, say, an ER medium laser. And then a heatsink. What's that going to do to us? Undeveloped section of the Argo About a 20 heat delta. Okay. Interesting. What if we also put the heat bank on? We could do that. That puts us, well, at a 16 heat delta. Which, honestly, we can just not fire the ER medium laser and sink heat. Or the Clan LRM-20, which is a decent chunk of heat itself. I feel like this is okay. We're going to be a little underweight, and there's not a lot we can do about that other than putting in the modular armor kits, I think. No, that's the 1 ton. It was the Harjal. That was the quarter ton, wasn't it? Where are those? There's a protective padding. That's okay, I guess. There's also cooling pods that we could put in there. That's a 1 ton, though. Endo bone claws. I don't think we'll ever be close in enough to melee with this mech. If we are, I've got questions. Increased walk distance would not be terrible. We could just boost up our gyro stab. That's not a terrible concept. And then from there, we could do... None of these is amazing, I feel like. Here we go. The Infected Myomer bundles. That's what I was looking for. Okay, so let's put that in, I don't know, somewhere like this torso. Like that. Excellent. I would like to put in another one over here, but we don't have to wait for that. We'll just call this good. We'll validate that, and that should be fine. Honestly, I feel like that's an upgrade to the Awesome. It's not a huge upgrade, but it is an upgrade. Now, the Awesome's going to be occupied for a while. There's no doubt about that. Let's do something along the lines of this. We're going to have to take this financial report. That's fine. We'll go ahead and tick. Do we have anywhere to go? Should we travel right now? I feel like we shouldn't. Unless we know where the Dobrev is, but we haven't gotten that event, have we? I'm reasonably certain we haven't. We have a travel contract up over here. Not necessarily the worst idea. I think we'll stay put for now. So we'll get a bunch of these mechs finished up. There we go. Mauler, Bullshark, Black Knight, blah, blah, blah. Now, the Bullshark does need a full-on refit. We're not going to do that immediately, though. We've got some time that we definitely need to be spending making money right now. And the Bullshark may have to fill in for the Awesome. We'll see. For right now, I think we can get away with not doing that. Let's hop into the command center and see where we want to deploy to. 1.8 mil. For a battle. That's not too bad, actually. Not great salvage. Might be a free prio salvage. Let's see. Technically, this here is a free prio salvage. So we would sit right there. Okay, so we've got a Corsair. Yep, our Boar's Head, our Magcat. We would want the Battle Master in here, probably. Actually, we're going to bring the Salamander here. Do we have an empty slot in this lance? We don't, so I think instead of the... Oh, well, instead of the Bullshark, we're going to bring the Battle Master. Okay, so we need a Battle Master pilot. What do we got here? Here's one. Excellent. And a Salamander pilot. Sounds good. Let's do this. So this is a 4-skull battle in the Highlands. We are expecting this to be somewhat challenging, but maybe not hugely challenging. We're going to get decent salvage out of it, so hopefully we run into something reasonably difficult. That would be nice. That would be very nice, but we're probably not. Do we expect this to be tremendously difficult? Honestly, I kind of hope that it isn't, because we could use a bit of a payday right now. We could use salvaging some valuable vehicle parts and just selling them and getting ourselves a decent chunk of cash. That would be very nice indeed. But I mean, we're going to get like 800k for this, 841,000. We need to destroy enemy units, and that is fine. We're currently trying to engage in long-term operations in the system, which runs counter to local government interests. They've hired a well-regarded mercenary outfit to engage the Arigan Coalition operatives on the planet's surface, and the mercenaries have sent a single well-armed lance. We'd like you to counter that lance by intercepting and destroying it. Okay, so just a merc lance? That doesn't sound too bad.
Command interface initiated.
This is a good place for an ambush, there's no doubt about that. Okay. We'll spawn over here. We'll just make our way on up. There is a support lance. Okay, good to know.
What a glorious spot for mech combat.
Oh,
Okay.
I could get used to a place like this.
So we see what looks like an archer to me.
Here we go.
I see a lot of green out of my cockpit.
Indeed. But all we see is an archer. Okay, there was something over here. The local government lance is over here. Or the support lance, rather. They got a couple of hits in there, but nothing too major.
Holding.
Okay, so the local government support lance is up here. The enemy lance is over here. So we should not be expecting any flanking units, in theory. We are definitely going to move up with our... We are definitely going to move up with our salamander. Little awkward there, but that's fine. This is a decent LOS, and let's go ahead and fire on this guy. I am going to Warlord to boost these odds, but we're going to do as much armor strip as possible on this Apollo, not an archer.
Copy that.
Nice, we made him unsteady.
Ready
Excellent.
for order.
The Madcap Mark II is going to move up, and we'd love to get a nice follow-up over here. Looks like this is the only location we're going to get a solid firing arc from. But we'll go ahead and fire this and see what happens. Not a whole lot is the answer. We're not super shocked by this right now.
Yes, Commander.
The Black Knight is going to move up over here. And this could be a decent armor shred, but we're not quite in range, so it's not going to be amazing. I'm not even going to Warlord for this one. Okay.
Hey.
And now the Battle Master can move up. This one we will Warlord for. And we could do a decent chunk of damage to this Apollo. We broke through the armor. That's okay. Our friends in the Mad Dog are going to move up and fire on the Apollo and hit absolutely nothing. Is this a Long Tom? That looks a lot like a Long Tom.
I'm taking heavy hits, Commander.
Took a hard hit there.
That looks a whole lot like a Long Tom to me.
Yes, Commander.
So we're going to try to spread out a bit over
Copy
here.
that.
And yeah, we can fire on the Dire Wolf here. Our hit odds are much better on it than on the Long Tom. And so we shall. We're going to take a pretty good pounding from that Long Tom. That's going to be a problem. Decent hits on the Dire Wolf. We'll take that.
What can I do
The
for
Boar's
you?
Head is going to step up, and its target, absolutely, the Dire Wolf here. We want to splash damage onto the Long Tom. That is our goal. We're going to Warlord this. Should have fired that direct. Oh, well. Okay. Pilot's bleeding out, actually. Our friend the Hunchback moves up, also shoots at the Long Tom, and kind of misses, doesn't get much done there. Now is when the pain occurs. Ow.
Losing lots of armor.
Yeah.
Oh boy, heavy hit.
That's a
there.
Long Tom, all right.
What do you need?
The Corsair is going to move up,
Roger.
and at this point, the Corsair does have a firing solution on that Long Tom, and I feel like we have to take it. Like, yeah, we could stray shot our friends here, but let's see.
Taking the shot.
I feel like we have to take these. Just a little bit of splash damage there, nothing too major.
I can't take much more of this.
You're doing okay.
My armor
For now.
blown apart.
The Mauler needs to sprint forward as much as it can, which isn't very much in this terrain. Okay, round 2. The Long Tom moves in phase 16. We see a Maelstrom, a Warhammer 2C, and a Jess 2 out over this way. So it looks like 6 total enemy units. They're pretty powerful enemy units. The Black Knight is going to move up over here. We are going to... I would love to Vigilance right now. Unfortunately, we can't. I feel like we go for the kill on the Apollo. We just remove it from the field. Didn't really get the greatest of hits there, but that's a torso destruction into a knockdown. So 2 pilot injuries. Actually, only the 1. The Mad Dog goes for the Long Tom. I love it. It does 3 damage. I love that a little less. But okay. Warhammer 2C moves and does not fire.
Waiting for orders.
The Salamander is going to step in here. We're concerned about heat, for sure. I'm going to not fire the ATM because of heat. But otherwise, let the Long Tom have it. Okay. Good damage to the armor of the Long Tom there.
Yes, Commander.
Our Battlemaster steps forward. Heat is still a bit of a concern. Oh, our UAC 5 jammed? On 1 shot. Oof, that's rough.
Locking in target.
Well, we'll get another hit in there on that Long Tom. They're going to move soon. Our friend the Hunchback moves up, goes for the Jess. Doesn't hit anywhere near. Not even close.
Good to go.
Our Orion is interesting in its positioning. We're going to move up over here.
On the move. Full speed.
And we're going to continue firing at this Long Tom. Fingers crossed. I think we're good. The Long Tom's down. Okay.
Vehicle trash.
There we go. There's the primary threat off the field. Now, they've got that splash damage, but that's not that big of a deal.
Come on. Send me a real
And now we know that there are indeed 4 mechs over
Barely a
here.
hit, Commander.
Not just the 3 that we thought.
Commander,
The Madcap Mark II is going to step forward to here.
position confirmed.
And all we can fire on is the Apollo. Go for the kill.
Yes.
There we go. 1 dead Apollo. Ah, there is 6
Enemy
total.
down.
So there's 4 and 2. Got it.
Waiting on you, Commander.
The Boar's Head at this point can step forward,
No
and its target... Honestly, none of these are amazing. We're going to go for the Dire Wolf here. We're going to fire direct fire.
This should be good.
That might be a knockdown. Yeah, that's a knockdown. Nice. So that's 2 pilot injuries. Good to know.
Yeah?
Our Corsair is going to just step forward
do what I
1
can.
hex here, and then fire on that downed Dire Wolf.
Take this.
We got a structure exposure there. Always nice.
Aye, aye.
Our Mauler is going to sprint forward here.
Here we go.
Yeah, we're going out into the Long Tom fire. The Dire Wolf immediately gets up. I'm a little sad about that one. And it fires on our friend the Hunchback. Very long range and not getting much done there. I like it. Okay, the Warhammer 2C is still kind of running around in a circle out there. We don't care about that at all. The Black Knight is going to position here. We can fire on either of these. And we're going for the Dire Wolf. We would love to get some crit fishing done in this torso.
Affirmative.
Okay. A double heat
Reporting
sink destruction
critical hit.
and an engine crit. It's okay. It's not the crits we were looking for. Yeah, the Marauder firing on the Black Knight is unsurprising right now.
Taking minimal damage.
Good to
Okay,
go.
the salamander is going to step forward. It is still in the fire,
Confirmed.
so we do need to be concerned about that. This is actually okay, though. So we'll do more crit fishing in the direwolf. And there we go. That was the crit we needed.
Mech destroyed.
Fantastic. 3 units left. Our friend the Mad Dog moves and fires on the Maelstrom. Gets 3 damage. Okay, that is not tremendously relevant. Our Madcap Mark II is not really able to get any LOS right now. There's kind of fire everywhere thanks to the Long Tom.
Standing by.
The Battle Master, however, is able to move up over this way, and so we shall. And we're going to fire on the Maelstrom here. Our other Ultra AC5 is currently jammed. That's awkward.
Affirmative.
But we got some solid damage into that Maelstrom. I like it. There's our AC5 unjammed. Our friend the Hunchback fires on the Jess. This is fine. In fact, I like that quite a bit. That is
Awaiting
pretty
orders.
solid. The Mauler is going to sprint forward
On the move.
and attempt to get somewhere useful. The Jess is positioning out the... Oh, this is very foolish. Not an ideal
Yes,
splash
Commander.
damage target there, that's for sure. The Orion is going to step forward, and we're going to fire on the Maelstrom here. Hit odds aren't the best, but we'll see what we get.
Targeting for attack.
Decent armor shred, not great though.
I hear ya.
The Boar's Head is going to step up over here. Our heat is definitely getting suspicious at this point, but we're going to fire on this Maelstrom. Major damage to the Maelstrom's stability bar there. The Corsair is still not really able to get anywhere of note. We're just going to move forward, try to get out of this little valley, and hope that this fire goes away eventually.
Standing by.
The Black Knight is going to move up over here,
Affirmative.
and we may well get a knockdown on the Maelstrom here. We're going to Warlord, since that is up.
Firing on target.
I think that is a knockdown. Excellent. There we go. Okay, the Mad Dog moves up, fires on the Maelstrom. Does 6 damage.
Right here.
Adorable. The Battle Master is going to move in over this way. We're going to sprint it.
Accelerating to location.
And we'll just fire on this Maelstrom. I kind of don't care where we hit. I guess we'll go CT. Well, that definitely did a lot to the CT.
Critical hit, Commander.
There's no doubt about that one. The Warhammer 2C still hasn't fired.
Ready for orders.
We're going to position the Orion over here and go for the kill on the Maelstrom. I think we're not going to fire the LRM-20 Zeus for heat purposes, but otherwise, yeah, we'll just guarantee that kill.
Hostile eliminated.
I mean, once the Long Tom went down, this is very straightforward.
Let's do this.
The Salamander can sprint up,
Let's move.
and we're just going to sink heat. Okay, the Hunchback firing on the Jess too. Sounds good to me. Getting another 46 damage in there.
Waiting on you, Commander.
The Boar's Head is going to move up over here. We're also going to start firing on the Jess too. And in indirect mode, what would this heat look like? Okay, we'll just fire like this. Solid damage to it. I like it.
Yep.
Our Corsair is going to sprint forward.
Ready.
And the Madcat Mark II, same story there.
Confirm.
Okay. And finally,
Standing by.
our Mauler, which hasn't done anything of note.
Copy that.
Not yet in this one, due to LOS issues. The Jess firing on the Mad Dog. Once again, that's a very bad target to go for AoE on. I don't get it.
Commander.
The Black Knight is going to sprint out over
that.
this direction to intercept the Warhammer if it comes this way.
Standing by.
The Salamander is going to do the same.
Affirmative.
Standing by.
Actually, we should be reserving at this point and let the Warhammer move and see which side it commits to, if any. The Mad Dog goes for the Warhammer. I would actually prefer the Jest, but it got a little damage in there. Sure, we'll take it. And the Warhammer does commit to this side. That's a lot of stability. It's running the double X pulse lasers, it looked like, plus the
What do you need?
missile weapons there. It's a bit rough, to be sure. This is a direct LOS right here, though, and this should do the trick. So we're going to Warlord and hit the Warhammer.
Attacking from position.
I think we stray shot one of those gals. We did indeed. And we managed to knock down our salamander. That's really sad, but okay. The Hunchback moves up and goes for the Jess. I still like this choice, to be clear.
Orders.
The Orion is going to position out over here. And we're going to Warlord, and hopefully not stray shot this time. We have a much more clear shot, so there's that. Good damage into that Warhammer 2C.
Critical
Very
hit,
solid.
Commander.
The Jess moves up. Probably is going to go for the Salamander. Yeah, but this is honestly reasonably fine. Reasonably fine.
What can I do?
The Boar's Head is going to move forward, and it's going to go for the kill on the Warhammer 2C. We're going to fire this direct fire.
Commencing Alpha Strike.
That's a bunch of engine core crits and a knockdown. It's not quite a kill, but the Warhammer 2C is in a much worse position right now than our Salamander is, I can tell you that.
Good to go.
The Madcap Mark II is, I think, not really... Ooh, we do have an LOS here. It's not a great one. We'll just fire the Gauss. We stray shot one of them, but the other finished the job.
Reporting heavy damage.
Yeah, you're fine. The Mauler is going to sprint up over here,
We'll go.
and that's fine. And finally, the Battle Master wants to get into position to fire on that Jess. It's very close, but not quite there.
Go fast. Got it.
Okay. So,
Awaiting
now,
orders.
the Black Knight is going to sprint up over here.
Roger that.
There we go.
Right here.
And the Battle Master is actually going to reserve.
Sure.
We're going to allow the Jess to move here. And it's going to fire at the Salamander. There's no doubt about it.
I'll wait here for now.
We'll see what it does. Hunchback is going to fire first. And wildly miss. Okay. Not even close. And what does the Jess do? Backs off a bit, fires on the Salamander as expected. Okay. Does not break the armor.
Making it hard out here, Commander.
Yes,
And
Commander.
the Battlemaster does find a way to squeak in an LOS here. It's not much of
On
one,
my way.
but it is an LOS.
That's firing up strike.
Okay. Decent damage into the Jess there, but not
Commander?
as much as I would have liked, in all honesty. The Mauler is going to sprint forward. It's not, I think, going to do anything in this particular engagement.
Waiting for orders.
The Madcap Mark II is going to sprint forward as well. It's not very useful right now either.
Yep.
And that's just because of the map that we're on. The Corsair moves forward.
Got it. No shooting, just running.
Yep. And the Salamander stands on up. And it's just going to walk forward, and we don't really want the Jets to fire on it again. But let's see what we can get done here. 9 damage, and I think that was 9 turret damage. So the Boar's Head is then going to move up and lob some artillery over here in indirect mode. And we'll Warlord it too. This is into the strong side of the Jess, but after this there may not be a strong side anymore. We completely whiffed the sniper artillery, but the Arrow 4 hit the target.
Commander.
Excellent. The Orion is going to step forward and also lob its LRMs, although one of them is jammed. Okay. Little bit of damage there.
Aye, aye.
And now our Black Knight can actually get a bit of an LOS
On
as
the
well.
move.
So we shall. This just doesn't really have a strong side left,
Target's taking a critical hit.
and that's great.
Commander.
The Salamander is going to move up and hopefully finish the job with its ATMs.
Locked on target.
Nope, no luck
What can
there.
I do for you?
But the Boar's Head moves already. I'm actually surprised by that. Okay,
Firing
this should be a kill.
everything I've got.
And there we go. Yeah, after the Long Tom went down, that wasn't too bad. I mean, stray-shotting the Salamander into a knockdown was unfortunate, but it didn't take any internal damage. It will take a while to replace that armor, but it can join the awesome in the it will take a while pile. So that'll be interesting for sure. I mean, we took a decent chunk of damage, particularly on the Salamander, so I do expect this to be a couple 100k in repairs. Not 600k, though. That's for sure. Let's see what we get from salvage here. We could get some Dire Wolf parts. We could also get the Mobile Long Tom parts and the Jess parts. But before we make that choice, that's the thing that we're taking. Ammo for it? We even get 2 tons of ammo for it. We could get 4 tons. How many shots per ton? 5 shots per ton? Honestly, I think 2 tons is enough. That'll be fine. And it's got the Infernos as well. Do we have ammo already? No. You know what? I'm going to take the extra 2 tons just in case. And we'll see what else we get. I definitely want that. A large heavy laser. That's great. We got a Maelstrom part. It's okay. LRM-10 Telos we'll get rid of. A tag we'll get rid of. BC recoil is actually not a terrible thing. C3 unit, we do have a couple of those. Engine Core 190, we do have one of those. A Clan Engine XL, that's a nice one. And a Clan Heatsink Kit, that's a really nice one too. Overall, I'm really pleased with the salvage from this one. What are we going to do with the Long Tom? Well, honestly, we probably put it on our Atlas. Or the Bull Shark. Instead of the Thumper. That's another option. We'll have to look at that, though, at a different time. It's past time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to be doing that as soon as we know how much this is going to cost to repair. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and let's see what Yang has to say about this. Any moment now, Yang. I do expect this to be in the 200k range. Somewhere around 200k. 140. We'll take it. Sounds good. And with that, I will see you all next time.